In the peaceful town of Obinze, where life moved at a steady rhythm and the mornings were filled with the distant crow of roosters and the soft hum of women preparing food for the day, lived a young girl named Chisom Eze. Obinze was not a place of great wealth, but it was rich in culture, unity, and resilience. The people believed in hard work, and survival often depended on determination. In a small compound at the edge of the town, Chisom lived with her parents, who were her entire world. Her father was a quiet, hardworking man who farmed cassava and yam, while her mother was widely known for her Akara business. Every morning, before the first light touched the earth, her mother would already be awake, soaking beans, grinding them, and frying Akara by the roadside. The aroma would travel through the streets, drawing customers from different parts of Obinze. Chisom grew up watching her mother closely. "Life no dey give person anything for free," her mother would often say. "If you want to survive, you must learn how to use your hands." Those words would later become the foundation of Chisom's life. But everything changed in a way she never imagined. When Chisom was just 17 years old, tragedy struck like a storm that refused to pass. Her father fell seriously ill and, within months, passed away. The burden of the family fell entirely on her mother. Chisom tried to stay strong, helping her mother with the Akara business while still attending school. Just as they were beginning to adjust to life without her father, another devastating blow came. Her mother suddenly collapsed one morning while preparing Akara and never woke up again. In less than a year, Chisom lost both parents. The compound that once echoed with laughter became painfully silent. Relatives came during the burial, offering words of sympathy and promises of support. But as weeks turned into months, those promises slowly faded away. Everyone had their own struggles, and Chisom found herself alone, facing a harsh reality she was not prepared for. There were nights she cried herself to sleep, staring at the ceiling, wondering what would become of her life. School seemed impossible now. Survival became the only priority. One early morning, as she sat outside her house, hungry and lost in thought, her eyes fell on her mother's old cooking pot and frying pan, neatly placed in a corner. It was as if her mother's spirit was reminding her of something. That was the moment everything changed. Chisom stood up, wiped her tears, and made a decision that would shape her destiny. She would continue her mother's Akara business. The next day, she woke up at exactly 4 a.m., just as her mother used to. With trembling hands, she soaked the beans, peeled them slowly, and ground them at a nearby local mill. She wasn't perfect at first. Her Akara came out uneven, some too hard, some too soft. The first day was discouraging. People passed by without buying. A few who bought complained gently. But Chisom refused to give up. Day after day, she improved. She learned how to mix the batter properly, how to control the heat of the oil, and how to achieve that perfect golden brown color her mother was known for. Gradually, customers began to return. "Ah, this tastes like your mother's Akara," an elderly woman said one morning. That single statement gave Chisom hope. She became known around Obinze as Akara Chisom. Her routine became intense. She woke up before dawn, fried Akara until mid-morning, then rested briefly before doing small chores or reading her old school books. Even in hardship, she refused to let go of her dream of going to university. She began saving every kobo she earned. No unnecessary spending, no luxuries, just survival and a dream. Years passed and her discipline began to pay off. Chisom registered for her exams, studied late into the night using a kerosene lamp when electricity failed, and against all odds, she passed with excellent results. The day her admission letter arrived felt unreal. She had been offered admission into the University of Nigeria. She cried, not out of pain this time, but out of victory. But getting into university was only the beginning of another struggle. Without financial support, Chisom had to rely entirely on herself. She moved closer to the school environment and continued her Akara business. Every morning, she fried Akara before lectures, carrying her tray to sell to students and workers. Many students admired her strength, though some mocked her. "See university girl selling Akara," they would whisper. Chisom ignored them. She knew where she was coming from and where she was going. Balancing academics and business was not easy. There were days she felt exhausted, days she almost gave up. But each time she remembered her parents, she found strength again. During her second year, something unexpected happened that would change her life forever. One of her roommates had an event but couldn't afford a tailor. Out of desperation, she asked Chisom for help, knowing she was good with her hands. "I don't really know how to sew," Chisom said. "But you're creative. Just try," her friend insisted. Chisom agreed. She borrowed a needle, thread, and an old sewing machine from a neighbor. Carefully, she worked on the dress, adjusting, cutting, and stitching with patience. When the dress was finished, everyone was amazed. "This is beautiful," her friend exclaimed. That moment sparked something new in Chisom. She discovered a hidden passion, fashion design. From then on, she began learning tailoring seriously. She found a local seamstress who agreed to teach her in exchange for small payments and assistance in the shop. Chisom added this to her already busy life. Akara in the morning, lectures in the afternoon, tailoring in the evening. It was exhausting, but it was worth it. Her skills improved rapidly. She began making dresses for fellow students, simple at first, then more advanced designs. Her style stood out because she combined modern fashion with traditional Igbo patterns and creativity. Word spread quickly. Before long, Chisom had more customers than she could handle. By her final year, she had saved enough to buy her own sewing machine and rent a small space. After graduation, Chisom made a bold move. She left the Akara business behind and focused fully on fashion. She relocated to Lagos, the heart of business and opportunity. Life in Lagos was tough at first. High rent, fierce competition, and unfamiliar surroundings challenged her daily. But Chisom had survived worse. She worked tirelessly, creating designs that were unique and elegant. Slowly, people began to notice her brand. One satisfied customer led to another. Soon, her designs were being worn by influencers, celebrities, and high-profile individuals. Her brand grew beyond Nigeria, attracting international attention. Chisom Eze became a name known in the fashion world. From a roadside Akara seller in Obinze to a global fashion entrepreneur, her story inspired thousands. Years later, at an international fashion exhibition in Abuja, Chisom met Daniel Okafor, a wealthy businessman with global investments. Unlike others, Daniel was deeply interested in her story. "How did you do it?" he asked. With determination, she replied. Their conversations turned into friendship, and friendship blossomed into love. Daniel admired her strength, humility, and intelligence, while Chisom respected his vision and character. In time, they got married in a grand ceremony that blended luxury with rich Igbo tradition. But despite her wealth and success, Chisom never forgot Obinze. She returned to her hometown and built a vocational center for young girls, teaching them skills like cooking, tailoring, and entrepreneurship. Standing one day in front of the center, watching young girls learn and laugh, Chisom smiled. She had come full cycle. From loss to survival, from Akara to affluence, from Obinze to the world. Her life became more than just a success story, it became a legacy. A reminder that no matter where you start, greatness is possible when determination meets opportunity.